What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about Resident Evil 9 and 2025. What's going on with this game? What can we expect to see of this game in the next year? Now, hopefully, we talk about a lot of different games that I've been doing this video series on over the last couple weeks. This one has got to be one of the most optimistic ones, right? Because there's just that kind of gut feeling. There's the way that Capcom kind of handles things. There's the length of time between Village and now. There's a lot going for it that, we're going to see this game sooner rather than later. There was a lot of expectations that we would maybe see it at the Game Awards. Obviously, that didn't turn out to happen, but I think very safely, to kind of just immediately get into it, I think very safely we're going to see the game in 2025. I think a trailer would be almost assured. Now, the release, I got to be honest with you, as time has gone on, I've started to believe less and less that, or expectations are a tricky thing. They're a tough thing. I suggest we all kind of don't do it as much as possible. I want RE9 to come out next year. I think it makes a lot of sense. I mean, Capcom continues to kill it, right? And you got Monster Hunter very early on. If you had a year, if you're Capcom, with Monster Hunter in February and then Resident Evil in September, October type thing, oh my God, you're living high. And you got a lot more coming even beyond that. But there's no guarantee. And it seems like rumors always tend to go back and forth with this game. It's either really, really close. There's been plot details leaked, whether you want to believe it or not. Characters. I do believe in the main characters, who we're going to play as and who's kind of the central cast. The story, maybe it happens, maybe it doesn't. But a fair amount of stuff has kind of been leaked out there. You got the Dust Golems of the world, who's a pretty good, insider with Resident Evil. But then you have the optimistic kind of leaks. And then at other times you hear, well, because the game is trying to be so ambitious, and that was another Dust Golem thing, right, where this might be a semi-open world type situation. Because it's being so ambitious, it actually keeps getting delayed. It's like a Resident Evil 2 remake situation where that game got delayed a few different times. So whenever I hear that, it makes me kind of just stop and say, all right, again, in 2025, I think realistic expectations, something that you can pretty definitively count on, is to see a trailer, and maybe even have the game released. I definitely don't think we should take for granted that last part, because I just don't know if it'll actually happen. But in terms of actual confirmation and what was real, this was actually, 2024 was a pretty big year for it. It was when we got, official confirmation back, I believe, on July 1st, they officially revealed the game is in development. Now, the way they talk about it in that video, the way that outlets report on it in that video is it's now in development. And that's definitely, I would say, an interesting way, of reporting that, because if you were to have the start date for development of RE9 to be this summer, we'd be looking at 2030 by the time we freaking get this game. So, they, again, as I said in the beginning, actually, though, right, Capcom does things a little differently. They do announce games a little ahead of time. We just saw a couple of them at the Game Awards, I think actually two, that are probably, oh my God, 2026, maybe even later for Okami 2, right? So they're not afraid to show games too early. I think they just kind of did that. But at the same time, they also kind of keep things close to their chest. And I do think that's the situation we have with Resident Evil 9, where, again, you just look at Village, you look at the distance of time, even from 7 to Village. And again, I don't think that's something that we should hyper focus on, where it's oh, they can somehow put these things, these major installments, they can put them out roughly every 4 or so years. Yeah, I mean, I would like that to be the case. Games shouldn't take 5, 6, 7 years to be made. It should take about 4, but that's honestly kind of not in the world that we live in. And ultimately, we're not getting, I think, RE9 in the first half of 2025. Therefore, we're going to go 4.5, maybe even 5 years between Village and this next game. So I think that's a realistic expectation. I think kind of a coming out party, revealing it, doing a Capcom Direct or whatever they want to call it, maybe showing Pragmata again, which is something I want to do a video on and talk about that game, but do a really good dive into the game. And I mean, that is something historically, and we've talked about this many times here on the channel. You look back at those official trailers, it was an announcement trailer for RE9, right? It was the director, but it wasn't actually showing off the game. When they show off the game, there's not a lot of difference or time between that and then when the game comes out. So if they were to show it at an Xbox event, right, say in June, It could come out this year. If they were showing at a PlayStation event, same kind of thing. If they show it at Summer Game Fest, same kind of thing. If they wait and they wait and they wait, or they show up at a Capcom event, maybe June, July, around that E3, fake E3 time, there is opportunity for the game to come out like very end of 25. And that's kind of, in my opinion, the best case scenario. Right now, I'm kind of thinking we'll see it. We'll see like the full official 2-3 minute trailer. You'll get your interviews. We'll get some info on it, and it'll be good. Like, I think it's going to be exciting for a lot of us. Then it's just, okay, I mean, you got that, and that can be, I think that can almost be enough to carry you throughout the year. But then, okay, well, when does the game come out? That one, I'm willing to just, like, in my head say, all right, if it doesn't come out till 2026, it doesn't come out till 2026. It's not the biggest deal, especially if they do, like, a full-out reveal, in 2025. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. But like I keep saying, 2025, big year, not just for games coming out, but also, like, we're getting closer with a lot of other games. If Resident Evil doesn't come out in 2025, it's most likely coming out in 2026, and you're probably going to hear about it in 2025. And it's the same kind of thing for Persona and Kingdom Hearts and other kinds of stuff, Wonder Woman, right? Things I talk about on this channel. If they don't come out in 25, yeah, it's disappointing to some of them, but you'll probably see or hear from a lot of these games in 25, and that's exciting to me as well. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.